Hello, everyone, and welcome to StoryForge, an offshoot of the Untold Stories project. On this show, we shine a light on role-playing systems that we don't feel get the attention they deserve. StoryForge specifically is meant to focus on character creation within these systems. We also delve into tips and tricks for GMs and players for different scenarios as they come up. My name is Andy, and I will be your Forge Master for this series, so let's strike while the iron is hot. Today, we're going to delve into the realm of mythos, where those who look for answers may find more than what they bargained for. The realm of creatures outside of our understanding, who lurk in the dark corners just outside of our perception until they're not. It's best not to wake them if you can, for in Cthulhu Awakens, the in development RPG from Green Ronin, these creatures may cause unforeseen changes in the world. Our friends at Green Ronin were kind enough to provide us with the character creation rules for this game, as it is currently on Kickstarter until March 23rd. So if you like this video and the content that I've provided that gives you the basics of that game system, go ahead and go back it. If you do, you're going to be giving yourself the opportunity to get a lot more content right off the bat when the game launches. Cthulhu Awakens is going to use Green Ronin's age system, which we've covered the basics of with our Blue Rose video. You can click the little doohickey here or here, depending on where it gets put. So instead of going over the basics for this system, I'm going to cover what makes Cthulhu Awakens stand out within Green Ronin's age system in this video. So now let's dive into what makes Cthulhu Awakens differ from, say, Blue Rose or the other age system based games from Green Ronin. I'll give you a little bit of a warning on this. Character creation is a bit nebulous within Cthulhu Awakens. And what I mean by nebulous is that it allows you to wordsmith your way into playing exactly what you want to play without the constraints of having to pick a specific background or profession. You get to emphasize exactly what it is that you want to play. The reason for this is that the game is going to feature real people, real humans existing in what is called the Weird Century, which takes place between 1920 and 2020, trying to give you that sense of being able to play a real person living in the real world and then dealing with all of these strange occurrences that are usually just outside of human perception. However, if you're looking to jump into the game a little bit quicker, there are rollable tables and example professions and backgrounds provided in each of the sections we're going to talk about, which will help you facilitate that. So first, backgrounds. Backgrounds in Cthulhu Awakens are the experiences your characters has had growing up. Generally, this is going to relate to the living conditions they grew up in, from being on the outside of society to living the high life. You're going to choose a social class from the table, or as you define it, and if it fits your character concept. And then you can either choose a background from the related table, you can roll on that table, or you can make one up on your own. Each of the backgrounds is going to grant you the following bonuses. You're going to get a starting resource score. You're going to get bond points, which can be either external bonds or personal bonds. And then you're going to get a +1 to an ability score of your choice. You're also going to get a choice of one of two ability focuses, as well as one of two talents. And finally, you're going to get one roll on the benefits table for an extra boost to your character. Next up, we have professions. In Cthulhu Awakens, there are no classes. They have been replaced by professions, which are generally described or defined by that which earns your character a living. So, for an example, you could be a teacher, a cop, a fry cook, a trucker, a mechanic, or kind of anything else that you can think of and verbalize as to what earns your character a living. You're going to define your profession by giving it a name, or if you choose, you can roll or pick one from the provided table. Next up, your profession is going to give you a couple of bonuses. The first thing you're going to get is an ability focus in something that you don't already have, as well as 1 degree in an existing talent or a brand new talent. At the end, you're going to get 1 improvement to your character, and you get to choose. Your choice is +5 to your character's health, 2 points of personal bonds, or the removal of 2 points of external bonds, which I forgot to mention in our previous section of when we talked about bonds. I'll be getting into bonds in just a little bit, or 2 points in resources, which I will also get to in this video. The next section we're going to talk about for Cthulhu Awakens is drive. Drive is going to be what motivates your character to get up every day and do the things that they do, outside of earning a living. This can help get at why the character wants to get involved in the goings on in the world around them, and provide you and the GM hooks for why your character continues to find itself at the mercy of the mythos. A drive is going to give the character one quality and one downfall. This is meant to help you guide your role play. It's also gamifying your motivations as a PC. An example that I'll give you for this comes directly from the book. Achiever is a drive with a quality of ambition, but a downfall of obsession. So you know what you want to do and you know how to get after it, but you're going to do that to the point of neglecting other things in your life. Next up, you're going to get an advancement. You're going to get either a +1 to an ability score, a new focus, or a new talent degree. And finally, you're going to get another improvement. So again, +5 to your health, 2 points of personal or external bonds, or 2 points added to your resource score. Next, but not the last in our section, we're going to talk about resources, as I promised. Resource score is new for Cthulhu Awakens and is going to relate to how your player character can acquire items they'll need to both investigate and survive the creatures of the mythos. There are 2 ways you can acquire items with your resource score: rolling 3d6 plus your resource score to either meet or exceed the item's cost, or having your resource score +4 be equal to or greater than the item's purchase cost. So, for example, if you have a resource score of 5, you can purchase anything on the table that would be under a resource cost of 9. One thing that does happen, though, if you do end up rolling to purchase items 10 points higher than your resource score, you will lose 1 point of resource, basically saying that you spent a lot of money to acquire one specific thing. So hopefully that one specific thing is really worth it, and your GM doesn't take it away within the next 20 minutes of gameplay. Last, but certainly not least, we're going to talk about bonds. Bonds get a special mention here, as we did touch upon them in our Blue Rose video. They have been tweaked specifically for Cthulhu Awakens. So if you've watched that video, know that we're covering them again because they have changed. Bonds are going to be connections to people, ideals, etc. They're still as important in Cthulhu Awakens as they were in Blue Rose, if not more so. Bonds are going to be broken into the 2 categories that we've already talked about: external and personal. External bonds are going to be defined by those things that are outside of your character's control, but nonetheless have an impact on them. These can be things like living up to family ideals, acting as society wants you to, just generally things that are going to impact the way your character might act in certain scenarios. Generally, these bonds are going to have a negative impact on your character, even if you choose to frame them in a positive light. Terror bonds are a special type of external bond, which is going to be related to your character's encountering of the mythos. You can never acquire a terror bond via bond points, and you're not going to begin play with any terror bonds. Just to let you know, you're going to create the external bond, but your GM is in control of that external bond. Personal bonds are next, and they're going to be your player's attitudes towards people, both player characters and NPCs, differing beliefs, differing ideologies, etc., that kind of stuff. These bonds are going to provide you stunt points to use when the situation arises, and are generally considered beneficial to your character. For your personal bonds, I would suggest that you create those with the table that you're going to be playing this game with. It's always better to kind of conceptualize as a group and maybe pick another player character or two to have a bond with. Maybe your roommates, maybe you work together. Who knows? You can come up with anything you want, really. All right, that is going to take us to the end of the differences in Cthulhu Awakens character creation from other age systems. So we've gone over the different ads that they've put in. Again, if you look to our Blue Rose video, you can see some of the basics of character creation for age system games with referencing this video to look at the differences. As I mentioned at the beginning, this game is currently in development. So fair warning to all watchers, rules may change between now and the time in which the game actually releases to the public. If you're at all interested in Cthulhu Awakens from this little video that I put together, go back them on Kickstarter. You'll get a bunch of cool stuff. It's always good to support the groups that are putting out content that you like. And if you're not sure and you want to see this in action, the Untold Stories Project will be streaming a special 2-part live play on March 9th and March 16th from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, so that you can get an idea as to how the game will actually play in real life. You won't get to see character creation. That's what this video was for, but you'll get to see the characters go through a scenario, deal with the mythos, and generally probably lose their shit. Everyone, thank you so very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to get notified when we put up new videos. If you're interested in anything else that the Untold Stories Project puts on, we do have a Twitch channel where we do live streams on Mondays and Tuesdays from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, we're running a couple of Mutants and Masterminds actual plays through. We've got some one-shots in the future that'll be really cool, outside of Cthulhu Awakens, obviously. So come join us for that. You can also follow the other parts of our shenanigans, our blog posts, and anything else that we put up over on our website, which is untoldstoriesproject.com. Again, thank you very much for watching this video. We'll see you soon.